Welcome to Science for Sleep, a place where wonder meets rest, where every night we drift gently into the world of science, not with urgency, but with curiosity wrapped in calm. Here, you are not asked to stay alert. You are invited to let go, to settle in, to breathe, to listen. Each story in this series is a soft journey through the most fascinating corners of the universe. And tonight, that universe is you, because while you sleep, your body is quietly awake, not in movement, but in healing. This series is called How the Human Body Repairs Itself While You Sleep, and it is a gentle exploration of everything that happens inside you once the world begins to dim. We'll travel through the landscapes of your muscles, your bloodstream, your skin, and your mind. We'll visit the tiny nighttime workers, the hormones, the immune cells, the memory sorters, and the dream makers who take over while you rest. You don't have to think. You don't have to do. You simply have to be here. And with each breath, you'll feel a little more connected to the quiet intelligence that lives within your very cells. So let the day fall away. Let your body soften, and let this story carry you, not toward understanding alone, but toward sleep. Because even now, as your eyelids grow heavy, something within you is already beginning to heal. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to yourself. The world begins to dim. Shadows stretch across your walls like slow-moving waves, and the light from the day pulls back as if the sky is exhaling. Somewhere outside, a bird sings its last notes into the hush, and within you, something quieter stirs. You do not need to do anything. The change has already begun. Your body knows. Even before your conscious mind decides to rest, your inner systems begin preparing for the night. It is not an off switch, but a soft dimmer, a slowing, a stilling, a return. Your pulse slows a little. Your breath deepens without you noticing. Muscles lose their readiness. Your eyelids begin to feel heavy, like curtains weighted with dusk. You may think you are simply lying down, but biologically, you're entering an ancient rhythm, one passed down through every living body that ever slept under stars. Sleep is not a pause. It is a process. It is where the unseen work of life quietly continues. Beneath the surface of your skin, in the hidden silence of your cells, night is not empty. It is full of motion, gentle, deliberate motion, like caretakers. Moving through a darkened house, your systems prepare for restoration. Tiny molecules, too small to see, begin moving with purpose. Your blood, like a river at midnight, carries messengers through the body's quiet corridors. Your brain begins to soften its grip on the outside world. The constant sorting of information, the alerts, the reacting, all begin to dim. The chatter slows. You start to let go, not all at once, but like petals falling one by one. The mind allows space for stillness, and in that stillness, repair becomes possible. Think of your body like a theater after the show. The audience has left. The lights are dimmed. Now, a quiet team of unseen hands begins resetting the stage, picking up, repairing, sweeping clean. No applause, no spotlight, just necessary work in the gentle dark. You are not passive in this. You are participating in your own restoration, simply by being still. The act of slowing, the surrender to sleep, gives your biology permission to begin again. It's a kind of homecoming, a return to the rhythms that protect and preserve you. Heartbeat, once strong and purposeful during the day, now shifts into a slower, more economical tempo. Like a pianist playing softer after the final note, your heart eases into its night rhythm. Blood vessels relax, blood pressure drops. This isn't weakness, this is wisdom. The body conserving energy, allowing attention to turn inward to heal what has frayed. Your temperature dips slightly, a signal to your cells that the sun is gone and repair may begin. You might feel the coolness as you pull the blanket over your shoulders. But inside, warmth gathers in quieter corners, places that have worked hard all day. Joints, muscles, even your eyes. Every part of you that strained, focused, carried, or bore the weight of the waking world is now being gently held. Even your breath changes. Inhale, exhale. The rhythm softens. You draw in less air, but more deeply. Your diaphragm moves with less urgency. Oxygen still flows, but more slowly, like rain tapping on windows instead of a storm. This slower breath calms the brain, and the brain calms the breath. It's a cycle, a cradle, a conversation in rhythm. You are slowly becoming lighter, even as you sink deeper into sleep. Your muscles no longer carry your posture. Your back no longer holds your stance. You don't have to reach, lift, push, or pull. Gravity takes over. And in that surrender, your nervous system begins its retreat into restoration. The noise of the day fades from your inner ears. No more engines. No more voices. No more to-do lists knocking on your attention. It's not just your surroundings that quiet. It's your internal dialogue. What you should have said, done, planned, begins to dissolve. Like sand being washed smooth by water. But the quiet is not empty. It's intelligent. It's full of signals moving gently inside you. Signals to repair skin, to balance hormones, to reset the clock in your cells that tells time not by minutes, but by light and dark. The circadian rhythm, your inner moon. All of this begins long before you reach the deepest stages of sleep. The quiet prepares you. The body enters the first gentle phases of non-REM sleep, light stages where the world starts to blur. Brain waves slow, muscle tone drops, and yet, even here, healing whispers through your system. Each cell has its own tiny repair kit. DNA gets checked for damage. Proteins are recycled. Energy molecules, called ATP, are stored up, ready for the next day's use. Like gardeners tending soil, your body begins pulling weeds, planting seeds, trimming what is no longer needed. You may not feel it. You may think nothing is happening while you lie there. But even in the earliest minutes of slumber, your body has already begun restoring itself in layers, chemical, cellular, emotional. And still, the stillness deepens. Hormones shift. Cortisol, the stress hormone, begins to drop. Melatonin rises. These aren't just substances. They are signals. The body's way of saying, now we heal. Now we rest. Melatonin gently pulls you into a dreamlike fog. You are not unconscious. You are entering another state of awareness, one made not for thinking, but for tending. Sleep is not escape. It's transformation. You may think you're doing nothing, but doing nothing is the point. In that nothingness, everything essential begins. The immune system primes itself. Tissues begin their nightly patchwork. The brain unpacks memories from the day and sets them in soft containers. What is useful is stored. What is harmful is set aside. What is confusing is tagged for later. This is the deep intelligence of the body, quiet, slow, and beautifully beyond your control. Is peace in that? The world outside can wait. The inside of you is already in motion, a sacred, silent choreography of self-restoration. As you sink deeper into this rhythm, you enter the space where the world fades and the body speaks, not in words, but in pulses, in chemistry, in breath. Soon, something quieter still begins to unfold within your brain. A shift in temperature, in pressure, in light. Deep in the center of your mind, a small region prepares to flip the switch more fully, into deeper sleep, into deeper healing, into the next phase of the body's nighttime ritual. You do not need to chase it. Just let go. Let your body lead. Let your brain carry you deeper to the place where restoration becomes transformation, where one tiny region in your brain becomes the night's quiet conductor, and all you need to do is follow its call into the dark. The dark. When the light fades and the day begins to close its eyes, something within you stirs, a quiet instinct, almost primal. It whispers, it's time. Time to soften your edges. Time to let go. And even before your eyelids lower, your brain begins its gentle ritual of retreat. Tucked deep within the center of your brain, in a place no larger than an almond, lives the hypothalamus, a quiet conductor of your body's inner symphony. It doesn't speak in words, but in chemistry. It listens to the rhythm of your day, the slow arc of the sun, the changes in light and warmth. And when night begins to settle in, it begins its most sacred work, turning down the lights of the waking world inside you. This is the place where your sleep switch lives. It's not mechanical. It's not abrupt. It's like a dimmer, slowly softening the glare of wakefulness, letting your body slip into twilight. The hypothalamus sends signals to your pineal gland, another small structure deep in your brain. In response, the pineal gland begins releasing melatonin, often called the sleep hormone. But melatonin is less a command and more a lullaby. It hums through your bloodstream, a chemical moonlight, telling every part of you, from your heart to your skin to your bones, that it's time to rest. It doesn't force sleep, it invites it. And your body, if it feels safe, accepts the invitation. Light is the great gatekeeper of melatonin. When your eyes detect brightness, even artificial light from phones or screens, your brain delays its release. But when darkness falls, natural or intentional, melatonin rises like a tide, and with it comes the sensation of heaviness, of slowing down. You feel your thoughts begin to stretch out like shadows at dusk. You begin to forget the clutter of the day. You start to drift, not asleep, but toward sleep. This biological cascade, so delicate and precise, is known as your circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock. It's tuned to a 24-hour cycle, influenced by light, behavior, and temperature. It's why you tend to get sleepy at the same time each night, why your alertness rises with the sun, and why jet lag feels so disorienting. Your circadian rhythm isn't just a schedule, it's a cellular tide, pushing and pulling everything from hormone release to body temperature to digestion. And when it's in harmony, your sleep switch turns on with grace. inside your brain. Neurons begin shifting from high activity to quiet communication. The reticular activating system, which keeps you alert during the day, dims its output. The ventrolateral preoptic nucleus, a sleepy-sounding name for the part of your brain that initiates drowsiness, begins to rise in influence. It sends calming signals throughout your nervous system, lowering your heart rate, relaxing your muscles, and preparing your consciousness to loosen its grip. This isn't a shutdown. It's a transformation. Your brain doesn't go dark. It begins a different kind of light quieter, more inward, more restorative. The thalamus, which during the day relays sensory information to your brain. Every sound, sight, touch, and taste now closes its gates. It stops most external messages from reaching your conscious mind, allowing only the deepest signals to pass through. That's why a ticking clock fades into the background, why distant traffic hum becomes a lullaby, why your bed at night feels like a small, floating island. The process is fragile. Stress, anxiety, light, or even too much caffeine can keep the switch from turning fully. And when it doesn't, your body remains in a tug-of-war, part awake, part trying to rest. But when conditions align, cool air, dim light, a quiet mind, the body lets go. You let go. And sleep begins. Your body temperature drops slightly, signaling to your system that it's time to conserve energy. Blood flow shifts toward your core. Muscles lose tone. Eyelids drift downward. Your breathing evens out, becoming slower, deeper, rhythmic like ocean waves. And all the while, the hypothalamus keeps watch, ensuring balance, adjusting chemistry, maintaining the delicate architecture of your descent. You may not realize it, but this shift into sleep is one of the most complex transitions your body performs. It's not passive. It's active restoration. The autonomic nervous system, which runs everything you don't consciously control, switches dominance. The sympathetic nervous system, which governs alertness and action, takes a back seat. In its place, the parasympathetic nervous system steps forward. This is the system of calm, of digestion, of healing. Sometimes called the rest and digest system, it takes over with soft authority, regulating your organs, slowing your heartbeat, and guiding you deeper into restoration. And while this is happening, your brain waves change. From the fast, jagged lines of daytime alertness, they begin to slow. Alpha waves emerge, first calm, but still aware. Then come theta waves, gentler still, signaling the onset of sleep. You might begin to see flashes of images, feel like you're falling, or hear sounds that aren't real. This is hypnagogia, the dreamy threshold between waking and sleeping. It's a moment your brain loosens its grasp on reality and begins to rearrange it. Some of the greatest ideas in history were glimpsed here, in this strange and fertile zone of surrender. As melatonin continues to flow, your body continues its descent. Brainwaves dip lower, breath becomes slower, muscles release their tension, and eventually, delta waves, the slowest, deepest brainwaves, emerge, carrying you into the healing stages of deep sleep. You don't control this. You don't need to. Your body knows how to get there. It's been doing it since before you were born. The elegance of this process is often lost in the noise of modern life. We forget that sleep isn't just the absence of wakefulness. It's its own state, filled with activity, transformation, and repair. Even now, as you listen, your own sleep switch may be preparing to dim the lights. Your hypothalamus sensing the rhythm of your day, your pineal gland beginning its slow release, your nervous system ready to surrender. This isn't the end of anything. It's the beginning of something sacred. The first step in your body's nightly ritual of renewal. But what happens once the sleep switch has fully flipped? What takes place behind closed eyelids, beyond awareness, while your body disappears into silence? As you drift deeper, your bloodstream will begin its quiet journey of healing, where immune cells stand watch and your body writes invisible notes of repair in the dark. As your eyelids grow heavy and the outside world begins to blur, something deeper inside you begins to awaken. Your breath softens. Your heartbeat slows. The pull of gravity feels gentler. You're slipping into sleep, not just as a break from the day, but as an invitation for your body to begin a quiet symphony of repair. And now, within you, beneath the skin and muscle, your bloodstream stirs. Like a nighttime highway stretching through hills and valleys, it pulses silently. It carries more than oxygen and nutrients tonight. It carries purpose. Inside your veins, a transformation begins. The bloodstream, which spent the day supporting motion, digestion, thought, and alertness, now takes on a different role. It becomes the delivery system for healing. Your blood no longer rushes to your extremities in urgency. It flows in softer waves, like a tide turning inward. In the calm of sleep, your immune system is given center stage, and its guardians, the immune cells, start their night shift. They move with discipline and memory. Tiny white blood cells patrol the corridors of your vessels like lantern-bearing watchmen. Neutrophils, monocytes, and lymphocytes, all with specialized tasks, glide silently through the dark, scanning for the day's damage. Micro tears in muscle, inflammation from overuse, invisible invaders that you never knew entered. These cells don't race. They wander with intention, examining every corner, responding to subtle signals that only they can hear. You might imagine them like snowflakes on a quiet sidewalk, each unique, each falling in exactly the right place. And then there are the messengers, cytokines. Cytokines are proteins, but not like those in food or muscle. They are communicators, whispers in molecular language. They don't heal directly. Instead, they organize, coordinate, direct. Some cytokines call for reinforcements, waking other immune cells. Others signal that inflammation should decrease now, that calm is needed. They speak in a dialect shaped by evolution, urgent when they must be, gentle when they can be. At night, their rhythm changes. During wakefulness, some cytokines work more intensely, preparing your body to respond to threats. But during sleep, the healing cytokines take the stage. They reduce inflammation. They tell your body, now is the time to repair, not defend. You don't hear this, of course. You don't feel it. But it's happening wave after wave of microscopic communication, flowing with your pulse. Meanwhile, your liver, the quiet chemist, joins the effort. It filters and neutralizes the day's chemical leftovers. Tiny traces of stress hormones, bits of broken down molecules from meals and movement. The liver works best when the rest of the body is still. During sleep, it's more efficient, less distracted by digestion, more focused on repair. Cholesterol is processed. glucose is balanced, and amino acids, the building blocks of repair, are sent into the bloodstream just where they're needed. It's like a mailroom sorting urgent letters in the night. And above all this is your heart, still pumping but softer now. Its rhythm, like a lullaby, ensures the blood keeps moving slowly, steadily, without jarring waves. This slower pace gives cells more time to exchange what they need. Oxygen is delivered gently. Carbon dioxide is taken away without fanfare. Your blood becomes a healing river. One of the most beautiful features of this night shift is that it remembers. Your immune system isn't just reacting, it's learning. Some cells carry memory, imprinted with blueprints from past encounters. If your body recognized something harmful earlier in the day of virus, a cut, a strain it, now prepares a more refined response. Antibodies may be created. Specialized cells may be formed. Immunity is being shaped, even as you dream. And it's sleep itself that allows this to happen. Without deep sleep, this learning is less efficient. That's why chronic sleep deprivation can weaken your immune response. It's not that your body forgets. It simply doesn't get the time or stillness to remember properly. The bloodstream also carries growth hormone, especially during the deepest stages of sleep. Despite its name, growth hormone isn't just for growing children. It plays a vital role in adults too, repairing tissue, regenerating cells, restoring balance. It's sent from the pituitary gland in pulses, like drops of light in the dark. These pulses are strongest in slow-wave sleep, the deep, dreamless sleep that feels like floating. Growth hormone helps rebuild what the day has worn down. Muscle fibers, collagen in your skin, even the lining of your gut, these tissues are patched and polished under its care. And always, always, the bloodstream is the highway. In this stillness, inflammation is managed, not fueled. Unlike daytime, when stress and movement can provoke inflammation, nighttime invites anti-inflammatory agents to rise. This is your body protecting its future, reducing the wear and tear of daily life. But only if you let it. This is why consistent, quality sleep matters. The timing of these biological rhythms isn't random. Growth hormone, cytokines, immune cells, all of them are tied to the rhythms of sleep. Miss the deep phases, and the repair doesn't finish. The orchestra doesn't complete its song. Even your bones are involved. Inside the marrow deep, in the center of your bones, new blood cells are being formed. Red cells to carry oxygen, white cells to defend, platelets to help wounds clot. This process, called hematopoiesis, thrives when the body is resting. It's like seeds planted in the dark, quietly preparing for sunrise. And still, through all of this, you feel nothing. Your conscious mind is elsewhere, perhaps dreaming, perhaps silent, but your body is deeply aware. Aware of what needs fixing, of where to send help, of how to restore balance. There's something comforting in that, knowing that your body does not need your attention to take care of you. It remembers, responds, and renews, even when you are far away in sleep. In the dim quiet of your bedroom, under blankets and moonlight, you're not doing nothing. You're giving your body time to do everything. You are the stillness that allows movement, the silence that lets the orchestra play. And while you rest, your bloodstream carries on, recycling, repairing, refreshing. You awaken in the morning, Not because the work was interrupted, but because it is, for now, complete. Still, there is a rhythm yet deeper than blood, a cycle that guides this night shift and more, a switch buried in your brain, older than language, waiting for darkness to tell it it's time. And when it flips, everything begins again. The day might be over, but your muscles haven't forgotten it. They carry a quiet memory of everything you've done, every lifted bag, every hurried step, every reach, twist, and stretch. Even the tension you didn't notice held in your shoulders, while thinking hard, in your hands while gripping the wheel leaves its trace. These silent records don't disappear when you lie down, but something gentle begins to happen. As your eyes close and your breath slows, your body begins to shift. It's not dramatic. You don't feel it, but deep inside your limbs, the repair begins. Muscle isn't just strength, it's a story of effort and renewal. It's made up of long fibrous cells, like threads running lengthwise through you. During the day, when you move or exercise, tiny micro tears form in those fibers. That's not damage, it's invitation. It's the signal your body needs to grow stronger. But the real magic doesn't happen while you're pushing, lifting, or running. It happens now. In the stillness, while you sleep, your body enters a state of deep recovery. One of the most important players in this hidden repair crew is a growth hormone, sometimes called HGH. It flows into your bloodstream in pulses, mostly during the deep, slow wave stages of sleep. You could imagine it like a master, craftsman quietly entering a room, rolling up its sleeves, and beginning to patch what's been worn down. Growth hormone stimulates protein synthesis, the process of rebuilding those muscle fibers torn earlier in the day. But not only does it mend what's been frayed, it weaves something even stronger in its place. Your muscles aren't just fixed, they adapt. They grow more resilient, more capable. This is how your body learns from effort. All of this happens without your conscious awareness. There are no sharp tools, no loud repairs, just chemistry, timing, and the slow intelligence of biology. Your body knows. It doesn't need your permission. It only needs your rest, and sleep does more than provide time. It creates the perfect conditions. During non-REM sleep, your heart rate drops, your body temperature lowers, and your energy use shifts. It's as if your body turns the lights down low in every room, except the one where healing is happening. Energy that was spent during the day thinking, moving, digesting is now rerouted to restore and rebuild. Behind the scenes, a quiet balance plays out between anabolic and catabolic processes. In simple terms, building up versus breaking down. During the day, especially under stress, your body leans catabolic. It burns, it strains, it spends. But at night, the balance tips. The anabolic processes take over. These are your healing hours. Your mitochondria, the tiny energy factories inside your muscle cells, also take this time to renew. They clean themselves, recycle worn-out parts, and prepare to generate more energy tomorrow. It's a quiet maintenance of your inner engines. And it's not just growth hormone doing the work. Testosterone, insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1, and even melatonin play a role in this symphony. Each chemical messenger has a part to play, signaling, guiding, coordinating, Imagine it like a crew of caretakers moving through your body with lanterns. One applies new thread to torn fibers. Another strengthens the seams. Another clears waste. All of them move slowly, calmly, efficiently, because there is no rush here. The night is long enough, and this matters more than just for athletes or weightlifters. Every person, no matter their size, age, or routine, relies on this nightly restoration. Even sitting all day can strain postural muscles. Carrying a child, standing in line, walking upstairs, it all adds up. Without sleep, these small stressors accumulate. But with sleep, your body resets. It forgives. There's a deeper rhythm to this. Your body follows circadian cycles, internal clocks that tell it when to be alert, when to rest, when to heal. Muscle repair is tied to that rhythm. Disrupt your sleep too often, cut it short, make it shallow, and the repair slows. The threads weaken. Fatigue lingers longer. Strength fades faster, but when you sleep well deeply, consistently, your body rewards you with renewal. That lingering soreness after a hard day, softened. The tension from sitting too long, unwound. Even small injuries, micro tears you never noticed, are tended to lovingly, invisibly. Your body has always known how to take care of you. Long before supplements or schedules or stretching routines, your muscles were already learning how to mend themselves at night. It is one of the oldest, quietest miracles of being alive, and in the gentleness of this moment, you can let go. There's no effort required from you now. You don't need to guide the process. Your only task is to surrender to rest. With every breath, the repair deepens. With every hour, the fibers are rewoven. You may wake up tomorrow unaware of the restoration that took place. You might stretch, move, and feel stronger without knowing why. But inside, your muscles will remember. They always do. And what's even more mysterious, your skin too, is listening to the lullaby of the night. It too has stories to heal and layers to renew. You don't feel it, but just beneath the surface, something else is beginning to change. The work continues this time, a little closer to the light you show the world. By the time your body surrenders to sleep, your skin has already told the story of your day. The soft brush of fabric, the press of hands, the kiss of sunlight or wind, it remembers everything. It is your largest organ, your silent shield, stretched across you like an ever-listening veil. And though it moves with you, breathes with you, and warms you, you rarely stop to think of it. But while you sleep, your skin does something extraordinary. Beneath the surface, millions of tiny cells shift into action like night workers in a quiet city. Without noise, without effort, they begin their patient repair. Every scrape, every sun-touched corner, every invisible irritation is slowly soothed. By the night, you may not feel it, but your body knows what to do. Your skin is made up of layers, each one a boundary, a message, a memory. The epidermis, the outermost layer, is where much of the night's gentle work begins. Here, old skin cells, ones that protected you through the day, begin to flake away like fallen leaves. Beneath them, new cells rise quietly, formed deep. In the basal layer, where stem cells divide and replace. It is a slow, sacred process, one of rebuilding and soft renewal. While you dream, collagen is woven like threads in a tapestry. This protein gives your skin its strength, its elasticity, its grace under pressure. During sleep, your body boosts collagen production, repairing tiny tears and softening the early signs of age. It's as if your skin knits itself a new coat, fiber by invisible fiber, while the world outside slumbers. And then there is blood, flow a quiet river beneath the surface. At night, circulation to the skin increases, delivering nutrients and oxygen with steady rhythm. This flood of healing helps carry away toxins, rebuild damaged cells, and nourish growing tissue. You can't hear it, you can't see it, but your skin is quietly drinking from the well of sleep. Even your smallest wound scratches, blemishes, little irritations begin their slow retreat under night's cover. Your immune system, freed from daytime distractions, sends white blood cells to patrol the skin. They identify damaged cells, target inflammation, and clear the path for fresh, healthy growth. In the quiet of deep sleep, inflammatory signals decrease, giving room for healing without the noise of swelling or pain. You may notice, on waking, how a bruise has softened, a scrape no longer stings, a patch of dryness is eased. This is no coincidence. It is the hidden labor of the dark. Wounds heal up to twice as fast during sleep compared to waking hours, scientists have found. It's as though the night offers privacy, a shield from the world's friction, so healing can unfold, uninterrupted. And then there's water. Hydration, often overlooked, is part of your skin's secret ritual. While you rest, your body conserves moisture, keeping the skin's barrier supple and intact. But too little sleep, too much tossing and turning, can leave this balance disturbed. Your skin may wake up tired too, duller, drier, less elastic. Sleep is not only restoration, it is protection. The natural rhythm of circadian biology guides this entire dance. Hormones like melatonin, often called the sleep hormone, also act as antioxidants, protecting the skin from oxidative stress. These quiet chemical guardians sweep through your tissues, reducing damage from pollution, UV rays, and the day's stress. You don't feel their presence, but their effects become visible over time. Fewer wrinkles, less irritation, more glow. And yet, none of this feels active. There is no signal, no alarm, no sudden burst of energy. The skin doesn't scream to be fixed. It whispers. It waits. It begins again every night in the softness of your stillness. You, who move through daylight in so many ways, reaching, lifting, brushing past things, become still and sleep. Your body no longer spends energy reacting. It spends it rebuilding. And your skin, so often seen as surface, is in truth a record keeper, a protector, and a quiet healer. Each night, it lays down new layers like fresh snow across a well-trodden field. Old marks fade, tiny lines soften. The invisible wounds, those caused by light, touch, time, begin to close. Even scars, which once felt permanent, respond to sleep's gentle rhythm. They may not disappear, but they change. Tissue is softened, boundaries blur, colors fade like old ink. This too is healing, not to erase, but to integrate. When you sleep well, you wear the night on your skin. You glow not from something added, but from something quietly restored. Radiance, as it turns out, is just the body's way of saying thank you for rest. And so you lay still, your skin busy in. Silence. The layers you shed, the ones you rebuild, the tiny wounds that mend. All of it happens not in a rush, but in rhythm. Night after night, your body remembers how to repair. It knows how to be whole. It only asks for quiet, for time, for a bit of darkness. And just beneath your skin, the journey continues. There are deeper rhythms waiting ones that do not stop at the surface. Because now, as the outer self softens and glows, another system stirs. Your mind, your memories, your deeper inner worlds. What does your brain do while your body heals? Let's follow the quiet threads of thought and find out. When you close your eyes at night and the world fades away, your body begins to rest. But your mind, your beautiful, intricate mind, does something entirely different, Dot. It wanders, Dot, as your breathing deepens and your heartbeat slows. Your brain enters a rhythm all its own. Beneath the silence of sleep, it lights up like a night garden coming to life. Synapses flicker gently, electric whispers flowing between neurons like dew across blades of grass. This garden doesn't need sunlight. It blooms in the dark. Sleep is not stillness for the mind. It is its most vibrant, secret work. You drift through cycles from light sleep to deep sleep, and then into REM, rapid eye movement. This is where memory settles its roots. Your eyes may flutter beneath closed lids, but your brain is wide awake. In its own way, tending to its garden, Dot, all day long, your brain has gathered. It has collected voices, images, ideas, glances, tiny gestures, even the way a doorknob felt in your hand. Most of this input never reaches conscious awareness, but it matters. Because your brain must decide what to keep, Dot, it cannot hold everything. It must choose. And so, as you sleep, it begins to prune. Like a quiet gardener, your brain walks between the pathways of thought, clipping the excess, pulling the weeds. Synaptic connections that were too weak or unnecessary are gently trimmed. This process is called synaptic pruning, and it helps your brain stay efficient, agile, and clear, Dot. It doesn't erase the day, but it refines it. It keeps the moments with emotional weight, with meaning, with pattern. It keeps the faces you love, the things you're learning, and the moments that made you pause. The rest is composted, not discarded with violence, but returned to the soil of your being, to nourish what matters, Dot, as this pruning happens. Your memories grow stronger, not weaker. Sleep, especially REM sleep, consolidates them, taking fresh experiences and embedding them deep into your long-term memory. Like pressing a leaf into the pages of a book, your brain saves what should not be lost. Scientific studies show that people who sleep after learning something new are better at remembering. It's not about effort. It's about trusting that your mind knows what to do once you let go. While you dream, your brain isn't just organizing, it's creating. Neural patterns shift. Connections cross that never did before. The hippocampus, where short-term memories are stored, begins passing information to the neocortex, the vast, outer landscape of the brain that holds your past. This flow of memory resembles a gentle river moving downstream, carrying experience from the shallows into deeper waters. That it is here that insight happens. Dreams might take pieces of yesterday and mix them with fragments from years ago. They might stir fear and delight into the same story. And while most dreams seem strange, even nonsensical, they serve a purpose. They loosen the rigid edges of thinking and make room for newness. When you solve a problem in your sleep, it isn't magic. It's memory, creativity, and pruning all working together. Your brain isn't simply replaying reality. It's refining your sense of it. Even emotional memories are softened in the night. Studies show that sleep, especially REM, helps reduce the sting of painful experiences. It doesn't erase grief or fear, but it surrounds them with context, with time, with softness. As if your mind is holding a difficult memory in its hands, turning it gently until the edges no longer cut. Dreams can feel real because your emotional brain, the limbic system, is wide awake while the logical parts quiet down. The amygdala, which processes fear and desire, glows with activity. The prefrontal cortex, the rational thinker, rests. That's why a single sentence or symbol in a dream can carry immense emotional weight. The brain speaks in metaphor at night. And yet there is order in the chaos. Your sleep cycles follow a rhythm, 90 minutes at a time, drifting from light sleep into deeper waves, and then returning to REM. The first half of the night favors deep sleep repair of the body. The second half leans into REM repair of the mind. It is as if the night has a plan for you. First, mend the vessel. Then tend the garden within. Memory is not just about facts or information. It is identity. It is your story. Each night, your brain rewrites it a little, strengthens the spine of the narrative, discards the noise, and threads new connections. Sleep does not erase who you were today. It helps you become more of who you are, even in sleep. Disorders, where memory is impaired, we see the fragile importance of this process. Disrupted REM sleep often leads to emotional volatility, forgetfulness, or difficulty learning. Without the gardener, the weeds grow wild. But when sleep flows, naturally, the brain finds its balance again. This is why, when you wake from a good night's sleep, things often feel clearer. The conversation that confused you the night before might now make sense. The name you forgot may suddenly return. And sometimes, a dream leaves behind a feeling you can't explain, but that shapes your entire morning, because memory isn't just what you know. It's what you carry. And each night, your brain carries you, tending you like a garden, clearing what no longer serves, feeding what helps you grow. There is a quiet genius in your sleep, a brilliance not of thinking harder, but of releasing, letting go of the noise, so meaning can rise. You don't have to direct this work. You only have to rest. And as your memories are tended to, pruned and planted, something else begins to stir inside your chest. A slower, steadier rhythm that reaches far beyond your thoughts. Your heart, too, begins its own repair. By the time the sky turns dark and your body nestles into softness, your heart, faithful and tireless, begins to do something rare. It begins to rest. All day your heart has carried you. It has surged with effort, adjusted to your movement, your laughter, your tension, your thoughts. It has followed the rhythm of your waking life, beat after beat after beat, never stopping. But sleep is different. Sleep is an invitation to release. And your heart, too, listens. As you lie still, your breathing slows, and your brain releases. It's nighttime signals. A soft wave of calm spreads from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Within your chest, your heart senses this shift. It does not stop working, but it changes how it works. Your nervous system has two parts, one that gears you up and one that calms you down. During the day, the sympathetic nervous system keeps you alert, ready to act. But at night, it's quieter. Sibling the parasympathetic system takes over. Think of it as a gentle hand, easing your heartbeat into a slower, more peaceful rhythm. This is the rest and digest state, and it is sleep's warm embrace. Your blood pressure drops too. Arteries that have held tight throughout the day begin to relax. They widen slightly, like a garden hose releasing its pressure. With this loosening, your heart no longer needs to push as hard. Each beat becomes smoother, easier. Your entire cardiovascular system shifts into a mode of repair and recovery. Inside the walls of your heart, tiny tears caused by daily strain, exercise, even emotion begin to mend. Your heart is made of strong muscle fibers, and like any muscle, they respond to stress with microscopic wear. But unlike skeletal muscles, which often ache and alert you to their need for rest, your heart carries on in silence. And so, sleep becomes its sanctuary. At night, the body releases human growth hormone, a name that sounds like it belongs to childhood, but continues to serve you every day. This hormone helps repair damaged tissues, including those within your cardiovascular system. It helps rebuild what life has gently worn down. Your heartbeat follows a different rhythm now. Instead of pounding with urgency, it pulses in a cadence closer to the ocean's lull. In the deepest stages of non-REM sleep, especially in the early part of the night, your heart rate may drop to its lowest point of the entire day. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. It is your body knowing when to slow down so it can restore. And this restoration matters more than you may realize. Researchers have discovered that a consistent, healthy sleep routine reduces your long-term risk of heart disease. People who sleep well tend to have better cholesterol levels, lower inflammation markers, and steadier blood sugar factors that, when unbalanced, quietly wear on your heart over time. Even your dreams play a part. In REM sleep, when your brain becomes active and dreams unfold behind your closed eyelids, your heart responds with tiny variations in rhythm. These subtle shifts speeding up slightly during exciting dream scenes, slowing again as the dream fades, are part of your body's way of staying tuned, agile, and responsive, even while resting. It's like a gentle exercise for your heart, preparing it for the next day's emotions and interactions. Your heart is not just a pump, it is a listener. It listens to hormones, to nerves, to breath. It listens to your stress, your silence, your sorrow, your joy. And in the quiet of sleep, it listens most closely to the call for balance. Think of the heart as a musician who plays all day in the symphony of your life. At night, the music softens. The tempo slows. The notes stretch long. In this nighttime composition, your heart isn't performing, it's tuning, adjusting, resting between crescendos. And with each restful night, it becomes stronger and more ready to carry you through another day. This nightly recovery is essential, not just for your physical health, but for your emotional resilience. Sleep helps regulate cortisol, your stress hormone. Without enough rest, cortisol levels can remain high, keeping your heart in a constant state of alert. Over time, This takes a toll not just on the body, but on the mind. When your heart rests, it also helps your emotions settle. It resets the balance between your heart and your head. There's a reason why a good night's sleep makes the world feel more manageable. It's not just your mind that benefits. It's your entire circulatory system whispering, "You are safe. You are supported." Some scientists believe that the heart and brain communicate through electrical signals in ways we don't yet fully understand. Your heartbeat can change the way your brain responds to the world, and your brain, in turn, shapes the pattern of your heart's rhythm. This relationship becomes clearer during sleep, when distractions fade and only the most essential signals remain. As you sleep, your heart doesn't stop paying attention. It simply stops overreacting. It observes, it adjusts, it recalibrates. And by morning, it is renewed, ready, not just to keep you alive, but to carry you into life with grace and strength. Imagine your heart now, not racing, not straining, but humming quietly in the dark. A soft thump, pause, thump, like a cradle rocking in rhythm with your breath. You may not feel this quiet work, but you benefit from it every single day. All of this happens without a conscious thought. You don't ask your heart to do it. You don't need to guide the process. You simply lie down, let your breath deepen, and allow nature to step in with quiet hands. And in that surrender, your heart begins its secret work of repair, of rhythm, of renewal. Softly, almost imperceptibly, your body prepares for another layer of healing, this time not in the chest, but in the mind, where toxins are cleared not with needles or medicine, but with waves of internal tide. You lie still, your breath soft, your body surrendered to sleep. The world around you fades into silence, but deep within the sanctuary of your skull, a quiet miracle begins. Your brain, so active, so full during the day, now shifts into a different kind of rhythm. Not the buzz of thought or the flash of memory. No calculations, no conversations, just cleaning. It starts slowly. Your heart, beating a bit more gently now, sends blood more purposefully to the head. Your body has already dropped into the deeper layers of rest. Your muscles have released their grip. Your temperature dips slightly, and in the stillness of night, your brain begins to wash itself. Yes, wash itself. Throughout the day, your brain works like a bustling city. Thoughts whiz by like traffic. Neurons fire, messages leap from cell to cell, and countless chemical reactions keep your consciousness lit and alert. But all this activity comes at a cost. Just like any hard-working machine, the brain creates waste, microscopic debris, leftover proteins, fragments of broken down cells. One of these proteins, called beta amyloid, can build up between brain cells and has been linked to cognitive decline if left unchecked. Think of it as dust settling in the corners of a library after hours of busy reading and scribbling. But your brain doesn't sweep itself clean while you're awake. It can't. The space is too crowded, the work too constant. So it waits for you to sleep. And once you do, your body drops into the deeper stages of non-REM sleep, something extraordinary happens. The brain's cells actually shrink, pulling apart ever so slightly, making room between them. These newly widened pathways become rivers, ready to flow. Then, a clear fluid cerebrospinal fluid, or CSF, begins to pulse rhythmically through the brain, like a soft tide moving in time with your heartbeat. It's a gentle, steady flush that sweeps through those new channels, rinsing away what doesn't belong. This isn't just a metaphor. Scientists have observed this process in real time, using high-resolution imaging in sleeping animals. The cerebrospinal fluid waves in and out, carrying away the brain's daily waste, just as the lymphatic system clears the body's other organs. And so, this brain-specific process has earned a special name, the glymphatic system. It's an elegant fusion. Glial cells, which support and protect neurons, team up with the mechanics of the lymphatic system. Glymphatic, a word you've likely never heard before, and yet it's hard at work every night to keep your mind clean. But here's the wonder. It only works well while you're asleep. This nighttime cleaning crew doesn't operate during wakefulness. If you go too long without sleep, waste builds up. The system gets backed up. Just one night of sleep deprivation has been shown to reduce glymphatic flow, leaving behind a fog of cognitive fatigue. Your brain feels slower, cluttered not because you've used it too much, but because it hasn't had the chance to clear itself. This is why sleep doesn't just feel good, it's necessary. Deep sleep isn't laziness, it's life support. It is how your brain preserves itself, protects itself, renews itself, and the process is marvelously quiet. There's no splash or swirl, no tug or tension, only a rhythmic wash, like waves smoothing sand. The glial cells coordinate this process silently, regulating flow and ensuring waste is carried toward the brain's drainage points, eventually reaching your bloodstream, your liver, your kidneys, where the last of the toxins are swept away. You're not aware of any of this, of course. You're far from it, floating in dreams, breathing in and out, and still your brain is bathing itself in its own night ocean. Think of it as the janitorial crew entering a grand concert hall after the music has faded. They walk softly, sweep lightly. They touch every aisle, every corner, every balcony where ideas once echoed. They leave it gleaming ready for the next day's performance. And just as the hall is readied for a new audience, your mind is prepared for the light of morning, cleared of clutter, emptied of tension, polished in a way, not just rested, but detoxed. And yes, this process is especially important for long-term health. Over time, if the glymphatic system falters, whether from poor sleep habits, aging, or neurological disease, the waste that builds up can damage neurons. It's like a library where no one ever dusts, no one ever shelves the books. Information gets harder to find. Thoughts become tangled. Memory frays. But tonight, none of that is your concern. Tonight, your glymphatic system hums quietly beneath your dreams. It is tending to you in ways you cannot feel, in places you cannot see. You are safe within this rhythm, and your mind, moment by moment, is growing clearer. Curiously, this process is also influenced by your sleeping position. Research suggests that lying on your side may promote more efficient waste removal than lying on your back or stomach. Evolution, perhaps, has subtly nudged us into the best posture for brain maintenance. Even the pulse of your blood helps push this cleansing tide. The slow, rhythmic pressure of each heartbeat works like a pump, assisting the flow of cerebrospinal fluid. It's as if your whole body is conspiring to help your brain clean itself. You may not realize it, but this is part of why sleep feels so sacred, why waking after a full, restful night can make everything look brighter, feel softer, sound kinder. Your mental clutter has been cleared. Your emotional dust has been gently swept. The noise has settled. And as the cleaning completes, your brain begins to prepare itself for the next phase of the night, dreaming. Dreams are not interruptions. They're not distractions. They are the mind's gentle afterglow, flickering in the spaces newly cleared. In that moment between cleansing and creativity, your brain becomes a painter with a fresh canvas. As you sink deeper, you're glymphatic. Waves begin to slow, but their work is done for now. The mental theater is swept, the scripts retired, the stage cleared for the dream to take its place. You drift peacefully, unknowing and untouched, while deep within, the quiet miracle concludes. But even as your brain lets go of its broom and, pale, a new kind of movement begins. One not of cleaning, but of feeling, of stories, of chemistry flowing not to clear, but to soothe. For what comes next is not mechanical, it is emotional. It is alchemical. You begin to dream, and in that dream space, healing takes a different form. You are lying still. The world around you has dimmed, your breath has found its rhythm, and the surface layers of your mind have softened into silence. And yet, deep within, a new kind of activity begins. Not of the body, not of conscious thought, but of dreams. Vivid, strange, shifting dreams. Your mind is not asleep the way you are. It dances. It remembers. It rewires as your body rests. Your brain enters a stage of sleep called REM, rapid eye movement, named for the tiny, flickering movements beneath your closed eyelids. In this stage, something remarkable begins. It may feel like fantasy, but it is deeply biological. Each dream is part story, part surgery, part silent therapy session. You see flashes, moments, symbols. Maybe you're walking through a city that's not quite real, or speaking with someone who is long gone. Maybe you're flying, or falling. But underneath these stories, a chemical symphony plays out. Inside your brain, neurotransmitters, chemical messengers like dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, and norepinephrine rise and fall like ocean tides. Each one has a purpose, a message, a role in the quiet drama of healing. Dopamine moves through you like a whisper of pleasure, reinforcing emotional associations and helping your mind sort what mattered most during your day. It's why dreams sometimes highlight things you hadn't consciously thought were important. A glance, a word, a feeling. Dopamine chooses what stays. Serotonin, the mood regulator, flows gently in the background, maintaining balance. While levels dip in REM sleep compared to other stages, serotonin's earlier rise helps set the stage for dream entry. It helps you let go of stress and ease into vulnerability. That vulnerability allows the mind to revisit experiences safely, like rewatching an old film with fresh eyes in your dreams. Unresolved emotions come to the surface, but not to overwhelm you. Rather, your mind begins to reprocess them. Painful moments are reshaped. Fears are rehearsed. Hopes are stitched into new narratives. Scientists believe this is one reason why dreams often feel emotional, not because they reflect reality, but because they help heal it. You may not remember your dreams when you wake. Most people don't, but your brain does. The amygdala, the part of your brain that processes fear and strong emotion, is highly active during REM sleep. It brings feelings to the front, but in a space disconnected from real consequences. It's a simulation chamber for your psyche. Imagine a stormy sky being painted with gentle watercolor. That's what your emotional memories undergo in REM. What was sharp becomes soft. What was confusing becomes layered. What was painful becomes processed. This is also the time when your brain engages in a gentle practice called synaptic pruning. All day, your brain builds connections, learning, reacting, adapting. But not all those connections are useful. In sleep, your brain trims the excess. Like a gardener with a soft hand, it removes the clutter, strengthening only what matters. And it's in dreaming that those new, healthy connections are consolidated. That's why dreams can sometimes offer you new insight, a feeling of figuring something out overnight. The science behind it is simple. Your brain is reorganizing, but the experience feels like grace. Dreams are also deeply tied to creativity. Many artists, scientists, and inventors have credited dreams with revealing solutions. From Paul McCartney composing Yesterday in a Dream, to Einstein imagining riding a beam of light. This isn't magic. This is your default mode network, your mind's introspective system, given space to run wild during REM. Unconstrained by waking logic, your mind draws strange lines, and sometimes those lines lead to truth. Even nightmares have purpose. Though unsettling, they may act as emotional fire drills, helping you rehearse stress, anger, or loss in a safe space. The fear is simulated, but the emotional learning is real. After a nightmare, your brain has more clarity about how to cope. In this way, even our darkest dreams are in service of healing. Meanwhile, acetylcholine, another brain chemical, floods the system during REM. It sharpens images, intensifies emotions, and powers the surreal logic of dreams. This is the same chemical involved in memory and attention during the day. But at night, it becomes the projector of your inner cinema. And while this biochemical ballet unfolds, your body is paralyzed, gently, safely. Known as euryumatonia, this protective mechanism keeps you from physically acting out dreams. Your limbs are at peace, so your mind can roam freely. Behind it all, the brainstem coordinates the stages of sleep, and in REM, it acts like a gatekeeper, letting only certain signals through, keeping others quiet. It's a sacred space. Carefully curated dreams may feel chaotic, but they are anything but random. They are part of the brain's emotional housekeeping. Studies show that people deprived of REM sleep have more difficulty regulating mood, remembering new things, and processing trauma. Without dreaming, your mind becomes cluttered. Your emotions unmoored. Is also during REM sleep that your brain strengthens its neuroplasticity, its ability to change, adapt, and grow. This is one reason children, whose brains are constantly learning, spend much more time in REM than adults. Their dreams are a vital part of development. And for you, in adulthood, dreams still matter. They are your mind's way of holding you gently through the complexities of life. Even if you forget the details, the work is done. Your emotional injuries are wrapped, not in bandages, but in stories and neurotransmitters. Each night, this secret healing takes place, a therapy written in images, chemistry, and silence. You may wake without memory of where your dreams took you, but the chemistry remains. You are different than you were before you slept. You are soothed in ways your conscious mind may never fully grasp. You carry fragments of your dreams like petals in your pocket, light, unseen, but fragrant with meaning. And as the final dreams dissolve into morning light, your body begins to stir. But something else has been happening, even deeper, even quieter. As you dreamed, your brain wasn't just healing emotionally. It was cleansing itself, quite literally. A nighttime rinse of fluid, washing over your neural pathways, A soft tide rising to clean the shores of your thoughts, while you dream. Another miracle begins. One you'll never feel, yet it touches every corner of your mind. The brain begins to wash itself, and in the next breath of sleep, will follow that hidden stream. There's a moment, soft and brief, when your eyes first flutter open. The light is gentle, not quite golden, not quite white. The weight of the night still lingers on your body, like a thin blanket of quiet repair. You stretch not just to move, but to welcome something back. And whether you feel it or not, you are new. Over the hours you surrendered to sleep, your body did what no machine can replicate. It healed. It organized. It released. Not all at once, not with noise or fireworks, but with rhythm, the rhythm of life making itself whole again. Your cells, those tiny living building blocks of you, worked in slow, silent harmony. Skin cells turned over, creating fresh surfaces where old ones fell away. Injuries, even the smallest ones, a paper cut, a bruised knee, a strained muscle, were met with waves of proteins and platelets, forming microscopic bridges and blueprints. Your immune system, alert but quiet, cleaned up the messes left behind by the day. It found invaders, neutralized them, and reset its watch for the next sunrise. A crew of silent janitors in your bloodstream cleared out cellular debris like fallen leaves in a sleeping forest. And your brain, your endlessly buzzing, thinking, remembering brain spent the night. Sweeping, sorting, storing. It filed away memories, strengthened emotional connections, erased the noise that no longer served you. Sleep was the quiet librarian, restoring the shelves of your mind. These processes didn't need your attention. You didn't have to think about them. You didn't need to be conscious for them to happen. That's the gift of sleep. It asks for nothing but trust, and it gives you back a body closer to balance. The healing behind the yawn, that deep yawn you let out in the morning, is more than routine. It's a signal that oxygen is returning in fuller waves, stretching your lungs, waking your nervous system. Your heart rate increases slightly. Your blood vessels dilate. Morning light, entering your eyes, tells your brain to slow the production of melatonin, the hormone of sleep, and to increase cortisol gently, the hormone of wakefulness and readiness. But not too much, not yet. The shift is slow. Your muscles are still, relaxed. Your body temperature, slightly lower than in the day, begins its climb. You're moving from one world to another, from the internal to the external, from healing to living. And while you may feel sleepy, groggy even, what's truly happening inside you is magnificent. How? Sleep makes you better. Not just rest-a-do may think of sleep as a pause, but in truth, it's an upgrade. Think of your body like a vast city. While the world sleeps, the workers come out cleaning the streets, fixing the power lines, patching the roads, and laying down fresh bricks. Your brain flushes out toxins with cerebrospinal fluid, reducing the risk of neurological decline. Your muscles recover faster, your memory sharpens. Even your emotional self shifts. Studies show that after sleep, people are better able to handle stress, regulate their moods, and respond with empathy. It's as if a gentle emotional balm is applied in the dark, softening what once felt sharp. Microscopic miracles in the morning. If you could peer into your bloodstream at dawn, you'd see signs of the quiet miracle. Cytokines, which guided healing through the night, retreat. White blood cells redistribute. Muscle tissues show signs of microscopic repair. Even your liver has completed a night shift of detoxifying the leftovers of waking life. Your skin appears slightly smoother, more hydrated because water. Balance, too, is quietly managed overnight. Your gut flora realign. Hormonal rhythms calibrate for hunger, energy, and mood. And the best part? You didn't have to do anything but surrender. The stillness that changes youth. Beauty of it all is not in how hard your body worked, but how silently. How willingly it heals itself when you simply get out of the way. How darkness becomes the backdrop for growth, for renewal, for evolution. Think of how your bones, if fractured, begin to rebuild. How your skin, if cut, closes without sound. How your heart, though it beats in cycles all day, takes the night to recover its rhythm. You wake up different because you slept. And you sleep better when you allow that difference to unfold. Why, you might not feel it, but it matters. You might not wake up feeling brand new. You may still carry tiredness, stiffness, stress, but that doesn't mean nothing changed. Repair isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's one more healthy cell. One scar less visible. One emotion more bearable. The body isn't aiming for perfection. It's aiming for balance. Every night, it inches toward it. So when you open your eyes, remember this. Waking up is not the end of sleep's work. It's the first breath of its gift. A reintroduction to the world, shaped slightly differently by the work that happened in silence. You carry the night within you. As you sit on the edge of the bed or pull the blanket closer, your body remembers. It holds the echoes of the night's healing, the softened memories, the calmed inflammation, the rebuilt tissues. Even your voice, when you first speak, carries the resonance of rest. Each blink, each breath, each step you take is touched by what happened while you were away. So much of it unseen, so much of it unsung, but real. This is the everyday miracle, and it happens again tonight. And again tomorrow. It's not a one-time event. It's a quiet rhythm. Lifelong lullaby written in cells and signals. Sleep isn't just what you do. It's what heals you. And every time you wake, you carry the evidence, not loud, not obvious, but deep. You are never exactly who you were yesterday. You are, in ways small and profound, always becoming. And as the morning light grows stronger, you might begin to wonder, what signals told your brain it was time to let go in the first place. What switch turned night into healing? What flickers in the brain when sleep first begins? So now, As you lie there quiet and still know that your body is not idle, it is mending, rebuilding, remembering. Tissues knit themselves back together. Your immune army stands guard. Your brain files the day away like a gentle librarian, sorting books in the dark. Every breath you take is healing. Every heartbeat is a quiet act of resilience. Even your dreams, strange and weightless, are part of this grand, invisible repair. You don't have to try. You don't have to know how. You only need to rest. And your body will do what it has always known how to do. Take care of you. Let this be your comfort, that even when the world feels heavy, even when you feel worn or undone, your body keeps loving you back into wholeness. Night after night, cell by cell, breath by breath, sleep now. Let the quiet be your medicine. Let your body begin its beautiful silent work. You are safe. You are healing. You are whole. Good night.